Everybody, and welcome to this AFC South show 121. And we're going to be talking about all of the Week 9 games in the AFC South. Um, my name is Curtis. I'm the host of the channel. I'm also the Texans fan. With me, as always, our resident Jaguars fan, Isaiah Michelli, a.k.a. Duval's Finest, a.k.a. the Glitter Kitty Tamer, a.k.a. Don't Mess with the Beard. Joining us from the Chaotically Intolerant podcast, Alex Boyajian. He will be filling in as our Colts guy for a little bit because Jeff is currently going through some things. Thoughts to Jeff. So we're gonna have a good episode tonight. We're gonna be talking Bucks, Texans, Colts, Panthers, maybe a little bit of some Jaguars news, and if we're feeling fancy, we already did a reaction to it, so we don't have to. If we're feeling fancy, we'll talk about the Titans. Can't guarantee it. You know what I mean?
Can't.
So let's lead off with a little bit of housekeeping, and we'll get right into it. 25 like goal on this episode. We've not hit the like goals yet. I don't know what's going on. We're getting the views for it. Getting the views and the subs, but not the likes. 25 like goal on this episode. We're at 374 subscribers, slowly inching our way to 400. So if you can help us get there and then eventually to 1,000, thank you very much. Go ahead, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. So let's lead off with the Jaguars. Obviously, they made the trade before the deadline for Ezra Cleveland, and they have plenty of players who are injured who might be coming back. Isaiah, can you fill us in on any of that?
Yeah, so Walker, Little, Cisco, and Campbell, according to Doug Peterson, are all expected to play against the 49ers. Zay Jones said he's kind of still day-to-day. He's getting better. I don't really know what's going to happen with him, but we'll see. I just read a new quote by him saying he might get better, but we'll see. Walker Little, they did talk about him. He is going to start at left guard. Ezra Cleveland is not taking his spot, but he is there in case there's a depth issue. As we know, Cam Robinson likes to get hurt between now and the end of the season, so there's a chance that Walker Little will be back out of left tackle, and Ezra Cleveland will be in a left guard. But not too much going on. It'd be nice to have Tyson Campbell back, but Monteric Busta Brown definitely put in some work while he was starting, and Darius Williams continued to fill in and do well. So, just getting back and getting healthy, and hopefully that can help us out against 49ers this week.
Yeah. As you had mentioned in the preview, it didn't really matter what happened this weekend. The Jags were going to find their way into the 2 seed in the AFC. So the Jags are the 2 seed. Do you think that there's
we're the 3 seed because the Ravens won?
You didn't think the Ravens won.
Ravens have seven wins now. I was hoping the Ravens wouldn't win. I was just being confident, and they won. So
okay, all right, 3 seed. Now leading the division 6-2. The second place Texans 4-4 now. Do you think they have a shot to potentially dethrone
the Texans? Dethrone Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Nah. They could sweep us this year, and we'll still take the division.
Okay, I like the confidence. I love it.
That's the last time we took the division, besides last year, but the time before that, in 2017, you guys swept us. So, good old Deshaun Watson back then. But yeah,
what are you talking about? Like Deshaun's rookie year?
2017, you guys swept us, and we still went to the playoffs.
Was that Deshaun's rookie year, or was that the year before?
Right, he was your quarterback, not mine.
Hashtag not my quarterback.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I know for or it might have been the Titans.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I'm pretty sure you guys swept us that year.
I don't know that we've ever swept you guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did because you beat the dog shit out of us week 1.
The Jags were swept by the Titans in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, First game was week 2. You lost 37-16. Then the final game you lost 2 games in a row to end the season. You lost 15-10 at Nissan Stadium week 17.
The Titans. So well, they're definitely not sweeping us. So
yeah, they're definitely not. Okay. Are there any other Jags news going on? You still trying to get rid of those 49ers tickets?
oh no, I sold those. Yeah, I sold those, and I sold one of my Bengals Monday night tickets to my boy Randy, who's going to be going with me. So,
Shouts, Randy.
yep. What?
Right on. Well, then let's move into a team that actually played this weekend and got a W. The Indianapolis Colts playing the Carolina Panthers, who the Colts managed to beat 27-13. Alex, if you want to take it away.
Well, I think Chris Ballard saved his job till the end of the season, at least. I figured, if Ballard loses to Frank Reich and then goes to Germany and loses to Bill Belichick and the Patriots when they are so bad, I figured Jim Irsay would steal his passport, flush it down the toilet, and leave him in Germany to deal with whatever goes on over there. But congrats to Chris Ballard. The official Saved Your Job of the Week award goes to you. So congrats. He has a job at least until February, whenever the new year starts. I'm not really sure what to think of the Colts right now. Their defense actually played well this week, but I don't know if that's really a credit to the Colts defense, more a credit to how just horrendous the Panthers are. 2 pick sixes from Bryce Young to Kenny Moore on just really bad passes. And, they were driving on both of those pick sixes. So that's a big swing, assuming they would at least go down and kick a field goal. If the Colts don't get those 2 pick sixes, we might lose that game because our offense was actually sputtering this week against the Panthers' run defense, who I think they're the worst run defense in the league. Maybe Shane Steichen just wanted to try some things out, knowing that he could lean on the run if need be. They ran the ball 30 times and threw it 26 times. That's like that's over a 50-50 split. I would have liked to see us run it about 40 times and throw it 10 times because there is absolutely no reason to throw the ball against the Panthers unless absolutely necessary. Jonathan Taylor, you kind of felt like he was getting into a groove and then he didn't. He had the bulk of the carries this week with 18 carries. Zach Moss struggled a little bit more this week. I kind of wish now I'm kind of wishing we would have gotten something for him at the deadline. I know Buffalo's looking for a running back. They could really use one right now, and Zach Moss would be a perfect guy for it. But they didn't. Now we have 2 great running backs, and we're going to be kind of stuck with them. I know we worked out Sammy Watkins today, maybe yesterday. No,
Yeah,
today.
I saw that.
We worked out Sammy Watkins, so it'd be good to have a veteran wide receiver presence because I'm looking at the wide receivers right now. Michael Pittman Jr., I don't know if he would be considered a veteran yet. He's kind of borderline. He's second contract's coming up this week. Isaiah McKenzie's probably the closest thing we have to a veteran. And Alec Pierce has been really struggling. Pierce has been not good. But I guess going back to the state of the Colts right now, I don't really know what I want at this point because if you go into the bye at 5-5, very, that's respectable. I expected us to win 5 to 7 games this year, and well, it's looking better. The defense is just not that good. I don't think there's anything to really say about it, but they're just not that good. I don't like how Gus Bradley has run his defense for the past couple years. Lots of soft coverage, cover 3, kind of like Todd Bowles on Sunday. But he doesn't like to blitz, but when we do blitz, we're getting home. Blitz more. There's a lot of young quarterbacks out there now. Young quarterbacks historically will struggle against the blitz. So why not you go and fucking get them? Go get the quarterback every single time, put him under pressure, make him make mistakes. You have Kenny Moore, who is apparently back. And I think our corners really can't be much worse. So why don't you just drop him into coverage? I could see us just saying kind of fuck it and trying to win every game because we know there's nothing else to lose. And then we could go on a run, maybe pick up a wild card spot. Our schedule is super easy coming up, just to end the season. So that's kind of the thing I'm holding out hope for. because we have the Pats and then the bye, and then we have the Bucks at home, which that's a 50-50 game. Titans on the road, 50-50 game. Bengals definitely losing that one. Steelers, we can't beat the Steelers ever, so we're losing that. Falcons, 50-50 game. Raiders, it depends on if they give up yet or not, or if Antonio Pierce is going to keep riding the wave. And then the Texans, which, again, I still think that's a 50-50 game. It's also a long time away. So I think this Patriots game is really going to determine everything for us. I think it's going to be the catalyst of, all right, do we go out and try and win some football games or get the backups in and let's see what we got to trade in the offseason. Also, it'll show a GM, if we bring in a new GM, these are the guys maybe you should keep for the future, and these guys you can get rid of because they were just Ballard's guys. Yeah. I'm not really confident in what the Colts are doing right now. I know, obviously, I have to be able to look forward to that. It is a very promising thing to win 4 games at this point when we were projected, I can't remember by who, but somebody at ESPN to win 3 games, and for some reason we would beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Those would be one of our 3 wins. Made no sense. Why would that happen? But, whatever. So it is promising overall for the franchise. But if we can get into the playoffs, you never know. We almost beat the Bills with Phillip Rivers, right? But I'm just not confident in their ability right now.
Okay. Were there any plays that happened during the game where you were just like, why? Why are we doing this?
Throwing the ball 26 times. I remember saying repeatedly when Gardner Minshew was lined up with an empty backfield, why are we doing that? I mean, even if it was like a 3rd and long, when you have 2 great running backs in the backfield, why are you not running with both of them there?
Yeah.
And just saying, Gardner, make the read, make a decision, I mean, this Panthers team was also just so bad. I mean, I know the Texans lost to them. Apologize for saying that they were so bad. I mean, the Texans are good, but you can afford to make so many mistakes and just kind of let things happen, I guess. Just have some fun with the play calling. In this game, this was like one of the few games you could. I think Steichen was doing that before when it was teams maybe you can't make those mistakes against. But this Panthers team is so bad. They are horrendous to watch. I don't ever want to see them, ever.
Isaiah, you got any comments on this Colts game?
I mean, Kenny Moore had a great game. Who's hurt in y'all's linebacking core? I see Alubi getting a lot of plays lately.
Zaire Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
was big, but
machine.
They were still, what's upsetting me is this is reminding me of the not Rocky Sin. Can't remember what the fuck his name was, but Isaiah Rodgers was the backup cornerback, and Gus Bradley kept playing this other guy that just couldn't do anything. He would just let him run right by you, and they wouldn't put Isaiah Rodgers in for the majority of the snaps. It made no sense. Darius Leonard's kind of getting that treatment. I think last week he was like 2nd highest graded tackler, and people were saying that he's lost a step. I don't think people understand the speed of an NFL game and to get back into it, especially when you're being pulled on like almost every 3rd down. He did have more snaps this week. Just give the guy some time. Like, I think he's earned that as just the quality of player that he's been. I know he's been hurt, but people got to understand injuries, that shit just happens. Like, and it's more frustrating for the player than the fans.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Franklin, I think he's going to be back this week.
You think so?
If we have something to play for, he should come back.
Okay. That means
Isaiah, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that means Foye might be getting back to back.
Yes.
If Franklin stays down for too long, because he was catching it. He was kind of catching up to him a little bit in tackles, but getting close.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Franklin take it, honestly. Like, I'd love to have Foye go back to back, but like, I would not be upset if Franklin took it.
Yeah, I mean, to see what Zaire Franklin has become is just awesome. I mean, I feel like that also has to do with Darius Leonard being in that linebacker room, even if he's hurt most of the time. He's really taken on, I think last year especially, it was really more under the radar. than anyone really expected.
Mm-hmm.
He was just flying around last year, but we were so bad. Like, actually, we weren't that bad until the fourth quarter of the Dallas game. That was when everything unraveled, and then that's what we remember of that Colts team.
Yeah.
And I remember that 33-0 comeback.
Yeah, I think that was after Dallas.
Was the Vikings.
Yeah, I think that was after Dallas. Because that was.
So you're just saying every game after the Dallas fourth quarter.
It was pretty much over at that point. The team, it seemed like they literally quit. There was a exact moment you can point out. There was an interception. The Colts picked Dak off. I think we were down 2 points or something, and Jeff Saturday just wouldn't throw the challenge flag. He just wouldn't do it. Everyone was like, "Dude, what the fuck? Just throw the flag." And he just wouldn't do it, and the team was like, "All right, we can't do this anymore. It's done."
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's going to happen this year. Throughout all of the issues with Steichen's play calling and maybe decision making, they're at least competitive, and they've won 4 games to this point, so that's improvement. And
absolutely.
And we're only midway through the season.
We are not good at home. I would love to see us be better at home. We're 3-1 on the road. Shit. And if anybody wants to do that math, we're 1-4 away. So, or at home. Sorry, at home we're 1-4. So, not good. Not good at home. I would love to give the home crowd a little bit more of a show.
And that means something from a guy who lives in a completely different state than his favorite team.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this Bucks Texans game. So when we were doing predictions for it, I had the score going under the over-under, which was 39.5 points. Well, the Texans did that by themselves. 39-37 final score. It took 470 yards and 5 touchdowns, a 71% completion percentage from C.J. Stroud, and without a doubt, a miraculous fourth quarter comeback and final drive within the last 46 seconds of the game. This was, outside of the defense, this was the most well put together the offense has been all season. When just the passing game, because the running game was non-existent, because Tampa Bay just eats the running game like, I don't know, like a fat kid in cake or something. But Vita Vea is a man and he is playing against boys, and he is throwing people around and just eating running backs for lunch. Devin Singletary had 13 carries for 26 yards. Nobody really did any better. So they tried to kind of pepper it in, but it just never, ever got going. Devin Singletary's longest carry on the day was 9 yards. This is after the Texans fans have been saying it was Dameon Pierce who was the issue, and not really kind of blaming the offensive line, which has been consistently grading out at a sub 50 on PFF in run blocking.
Woo.
Including Titus Howard, who we just gave a buttload of money to.
Woo.
And he's doing absolutely nothing at left guard.
Keep doing
when it comes to the running game. Passing, he's doing pretty solid, but left guard, not his spot. And the bad part about it is George Fant is playing well, and he's playing well at a significantly cheaper price than Titus Howard is, and maybe they're playing at comparable levels.
Not Woo. I want him to play for more money. I want you to spend all your money on a garbage O-line.
He's playing all right.
I want you guys to give Jonathan Bernard like a 4-year, $100 million deal.
He's got like 7.5 sacks this season.
Yeah, I know. And when has he done that before is my point. Like, there's a good chance he falls off next year. His second year, he had 8 sacks. Second or third year. Then he fell off last year. Which was his second year. Yeah. I remember Bernard in Florida.
Yep.
Always
Bernard. Florida boy.
Yep.
But, I mean, honestly, you can't say enough about the way that C.J. Stroud played. Shattering rookie records. most passing yards in a single game, breaking Mr. Andrew Luck's record. First rookie to ever throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns in the same game. It was impressive the amount of time he was given to throw. I think he had like 10 throws of 2.5 seconds or more in the pocket. So like that's a dramatic improvement over last year where Davis Mills could barely get the ball before he was getting obliterated. Here's my problems with this game. While obviously the Buccaneers have weapons at wide receiver, people are going to say that Shaq Griffin had a decent game. Not a good game, not a great game, but a decent game. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Shaq Griffin allowed like a 30-plus yard defensive pass interference to the third or fourth string wide receiver. There was a play that I know somebody somewhere is just like, see, this is why Shaq Griffin is good. But Baker Mayfield is snapping the ball at the goal line and immediately under pressure. He basically just throws the ball at the receiver's feet. And Shaq Griffin was the guy in coverage. And
You mean CJ Stroud, right?
No. Baker Mayfield was throwing the ball to Chris Godwin on the goal line.
Wait, is Shaq Griffin on the Texans now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? That one got me. I didn't.
Yeah, he's number 0. He's number 0.
They signed him this offseason.
Yeah, like before training camp. I
completely missed that. Okay, I'm thinking of Shaq Barrett, I think.
Oh yeah. No, he's still on the Buccaneers. But
I was gonna say I'm thinking of Shaq Barrett. Never mind. My apologies.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, you're entirely forgiven for not keeping up with the whereabouts of Shaq Griffin.
Classic DB starter kit. Quarterback throws bad pass.
Yeah, seriously. Literally threw it into the dirt at Chris Godwin's feet, and Shaq Griffin is immediately celebrating.
Perfect coverage.
And I'm like, he didn't do anything. It wasn't thrown away because the coverage was immaculate. It was thrown away because he had no time to fucking throw the ball accurately. So he's just like, I'm going to get this out of my hands. Beyond that, the entire defense just looked awful. We've not been able to stop anybody on the ground. The starting 2 defensive tackles that we have that are the predominant run defenders. Hassan Ridgeway is now on IR. Sheldon Rankins missed last week. I don't know if he'll be back this week. He's, we'll find out more as the practice week continues. But they missed him, and they missed him sorely in that game. Rashawn White had 2 touchdowns on the ground. And was able to do some things out of the backfield that, especially in the first half, when Christian Harris was just like, I don't know how to football right now. This is 100% a tale of 2 halves. The Houston Texans entirely looked awful in the first half. There was not much rhythm. There was not much push from either line. There was not much of anything. CJ was missing passes kind of wildly, and it just looked like a team that wasn't really ready to play. The second half kickoff, of course, if you don't know, Kaimi Fairbairn had injured his quads, and at this point, Dare Ogunbowale, former Jacksonville Jaguar, is the place kicker. So he's doing the kickoffs and does pretty well. It forces the Texans to go for 2 every time they score a touchdown, and that kind of left a lot of points on the field that would have made the fourth quarter comeback drive a little less necessary because they just would have been able to take knees. But the Texans found a way to win, and at the end of the day, that's what you're really wanting out of a team that's growing and is very young and has young leadership at basically every level. And it's a promising sign, and that's the only reason I even bothered to ask if you think if the Texans could challenge the Jaguars. Realistically, if they don't find some sort of answer to shore up the defense, there's going to be quite a steep drop off in the second half of the season, because teams are not just going to go gently into that good night. They're going to use and abuse the things that are happening to the Texans defense. Will Anderson Jr. Got hurt, left the game early. I think maybe not super early, but like on the final drive, and didn't come back. I think there was a total of 6 Texans players who got hurt. And if that keeps happening, we're just not going to be in a good situation to stop a nosebleed, to stop much of anything at all. So I'm worried. I'm also very positive about the future, but this season is so up in the air right now, because the moment one side of the ball figures it out, the other side decides to shit the bed and forget how to play football. So with that, I'll open it up to you guys.
I think the Texans are the Colts right now. First off, I mean, they sound almost exactly alike. I mean, record-wise, you guys had your bye, so we have one more loss than you. Right. But it feels very much you're at a crossroads of what the hell is this season going to be. We're going to just not make the playoffs and hopefully get a higher draft pick, or maybe make the playoffs and go on a run. But that was the greatest game from a rookie quarterback I've ever seen. Not even just stat-wise, but just the balls on C.J. Stroud. I was wrong. I mean, I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong about a guy.
Same.
I'm wrong.
Yep.
I wasn't. Nerds. Suck it. No.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
You got a guy that's going to destroy you for the next, 15 years?
Absolutely not.
In the division?
We have the one thing they don't. A running back.
Long blonde hair.
Oh, that too.
That's true. That's very necessary to win football games. But I think everyone kind of knew the Texans were going to drive down the field and do it when you just looked at Todd Bowles' face when they showed it on the broadcast, and he was just sitting there, eyes wide, like, yeah, just like that, exactly like that. You know, he knew what was coming, and they did the thing that you should never do in the NFL, and is play prevent defense. I don't understand why it still happens.
Yeah.
It should only happen to prevent. It should only happen to prevent a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only time you should use it. You're giving up 20 yards every play. It takes 3 passes to go 60 yards, basically. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Jacksonville keeps letting teams in, because we get up by 2 scores and then we start playing prevent and they throw for like 350 yards on us, and there was like, oh, their defense is trash, but our run defense is like number 1 or number 2. It's like nobody can run on us, but we just sit back and play prevent and then let people catch up with us. And
that's why you guys let us into the game in Jacksonville. I mean, we shouldn't have even been in that game.
Yeah.
And there was an outside shot. So I think there's a coaching epidemic in the NFL right now. There is a large amount of coaches that are in the most obvious of situations. They do not make the right decision because they're trying to reinvent the wheel.
Like I would rather sub in like rookies and young guys and like still play regular defense than just drop back into prevent with our starters. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, I understand if you're trying to save your guys, if you're up 20 and, midway through the third, then just pull them out. I mean, they can complain all they want if they have some sort of contract stipulation about time played. Then just tell your coach, I want to play. And even, just don't pull me out. That's fine. But it never makes sense to just give them yards, no matter what.
Yeah.
Unless, obviously, it's the final play of the game. Give them all the yards you want. Just don't give them a touchdown. It's so easy.
Yeah. I mean, when I played in college, there was the first game we played, we were winning with like maybe a minute left, and the other team just got the ball, and they had a decent kicker. So my coach decides to call prevent on every single play following that. And they get into field goal range and drain a field goal and lose the game. And everybody on the sidelines is like, what the hell are you doing calling prevent with that much time left?
Yeah.
And safe to say he never did that again, but we never actually got close to losing after that. So it's not like he had the opportunity.
Yes.
But yeah, look, the whole AFC South is like this. We're all very similar in the fact that some days we look like all the pieces are coming together, and then some days we look like a bunch of ragtag group of randoms thrown together wearing the same uniform who don't look like they know how to even touch a football, let alone throw it.
Yeah.
And
luckily we got out a lot of our ragtag early in the year. We've been doing pretty consistent, but we'll have to see if that keeps up or if it decides to fall apart again.
I was going to say the Jags are probably the lone exception to that statement, but yeah, you're going to beat me to it. I'm trying to think here. So, shit, who do the Texans play next?
A bad team.
I mean, the next game is November 12th against the Bengals.
Oh.
Not a bad team.
A really bad team.
So
a horrible team.
Yeah.
If I'm the Bengals, I'm watching that game film from the Buccaneers and being like, okay, they were able to do a lot of things. And while Jamar Chase is dealing with a back injury, the other receivers on that team are very, very capable. And there's not a lot of corners on our team right now that are able to hang with T. Higgins and the rest of them, Tyler Boyd, whoever else they've decided to round out the roster with. But I'm worried. The defense is a problem, and I think it's going to be a bigger problem as the season rolls on. But with that, do you guys have any other comments going into Week 10?
Just anything? Not, or you mean about the Houston game, or just any?
Just anything. Just anything.
I mean, Carson Wentz is a Ram, so figure that's a big signing. I don't know why the Jets didn't go get him. I mean,
they have Zach Wilson in the future.
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? I'm stupid. No.
13 seconds, that's enough.
Yeah. I heard the broadcast on Monday night say, I hope the Jets can pick up where they left off against the Giants.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We're saying that what they did against the Giants was good. I mean, that's pretty sad football if that is the standard, if that's the let's pick up where we left off.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong. The Jets are an abysmal team, and I don't know why they're not being flexed out of the Sunday night game this week.
I saw a meme about the Jets, and it was Zach Wilson. It said, Aaron Rodgers can't come back in the playoffs and take your job if you don't make the playoffs.
That's true. Well, Rodgers, I mean, the hot mic, he said he's coming back in a few weeks.
No, he's not.
I think it's PR. I think it's Rodgers trying to do a PR move more than anything.
Yeah,
But if he does it, though, I don't see it. I think he's going to get hurt again if he does it.
Well, their line can't protect them.
It's very likely, but he did have a brand new type of surgery done.
Oh, I know it's a prototypical surgery. So did Cam Akers, and he came back in 6 or 8 months. I don't see Rodgers coming back in like a 3-month turnaround.
I think if he had a good line.
Yeah, if he had a better O-line, yeah. But
that thing's gonna tear.
The Jets,
they're gonna do a recreation. They're gonna make him run out with the flag again, and then again 4 plays in, he's done.
I will say, I told somebody this on Facebook and the trash talk group chat that everybody's in. Like, it's not the Texans' year this year. People are freaking out about it. And as much as there's a possibility for anything to happen, I don't see any teams besides Jacksonville making the playoffs this year and the AFC South, only because the AFC North has potential to put 2 to 3 teams in the playoffs, and the Dolphins and the Bills. They're going to find a way to get the Bills in the playoffs. Not saying the NFL is rigged or anything, but I'm just saying that the
I don't
Bills
want to
will
hear
find their way
anything
into
else
the
about the
playoffs.
Bills. They
Yeah,
are not a good team.
So no, they're not. But this year's not the year. Jacksonville, as much as I want us to, we're probably not winning the Super Bowl this year. We need one more year, give Trayvon some more development, get some more guys in here. But Texans fans, CJ Stroud looks awesome. I like CJ Stroud a lot. I've liked him since college, and I've been a big advocate of his on this show. Will Levis, like I said, he had one good game where he was underthrowing Hopkins, and he had now a bad game where he didn't throw any touchdowns. And of course, Titans fans, you've never seen a good quarterback play in the history of the Titans, but all of a sudden you know what high-level throws are whenever Will Levis throws 4 touchdowns in a game. Some of his best throws were on non-touchdowns. Like, what are you talking about, bro? And like you guys have never seen a good quarterback play unless they're playing against you. Like, shut up.
Yeah, and that's since Warren Moon.
Yeah, I mean, even then, he was a good quarterback, but he wasn't throwing 30-plus touchdowns a season or in 5,000 yards. He was, 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, some rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, but that's true. But
yeah, but I mean, I know what you mean though. But yeah, it's just, it's a good year. It's a good time to be in the AFC South, honestly, because like next year and the year after, like for years to come, especially if Levis works out too, we're gonna be the new AFC North or AFC East. Like we're gonna be the division to beat. We're gonna have 2 to 3 to 4 teams every year that can go to the playoffs potentially and can beat the shit out of other conferences or divisions. I'm super excited about it. I love all the young quarterbacks in there. And I'm excited for the season, but we all got our challenges. I don't think anybody besides Jacksonville's going this year, but I think next year there could be a push by some other teams getting in there.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody from the South gets in, it'll be one of those sneak in, kind of most likely a back door, like they just run in the side door as the gate is closing.
You need
basically.
this team to beat this team to beat this team to beat this team, and like somehow it all happens. And
which I don't have that much belief in the Browns. I've seen the Browns play.
Oh, I don't either.
Yeah. There are people acting. I mean, their defense is phenomenal. Miles Garrett is, my God. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I mean,
right now Deshaun Watson and PJ Walker, they're not winning though. They're not.
I think I said it like a couple weeks ago. I was unhappy that PJ Walker was in the game against the Colts.
Yeah.
I was like, please bring back Deshaun. I was watching the sideline like, man, I just hope they trot his ass back out here because that's going to help. And I saw some Browns fan put up stats from Deshaun. Like, it was like, oh, these are his last 2 healthy weeks. And the matchups were Tennessee and
what was that, like
they played Arizona this week, right? So Arizona. I was like, is that what we're doing right now? Like I know you guys want your $230 million guaranteed quarterback to be worth it, but be realistic.
I mean, people are saying that the Vikings are going to go to the playoffs now because of Josh Dobbs. I mean, realism isn't exactly an NFL thing,
They're 5-4, baby. I don't know. I mean,
John, I kept saying in the offseason that the Titans should have kept him and just, but.
Well, I think it was clear he wasn't the issue in Arizona by far. I mean, they covered the spread against the Ravens with him. So, I mean, even though it was off that stupid onside kick, but whatever. Yeah. But anyways, I also drive it back to the Wentz thing. I don't know. He's a Ram, Congrats to him. I think McVay can get the best out of him, to be honest. And I don't understand why the Jets didn't go and get him beforehand. His ceiling is a lot higher than Wilson's, and honestly, I think his floor is pretty close to Wilson's too. And I've seen his floor, but I've said it before. I think Irsay acted too emotionally with the whole thing. People forget the Colts were like dark horse Super Bowl team in week 15 or 16 of that season.
Yeah.
They just beat the Pats. They had that game against Arizona on Christmas Day where everybody had COVID and Carson like put the team on his fucking back and just, won the game, and then they lost to the Raiders. But like, I don't know, man. We forget, like, the Colts came out so flat. Everybody came out flat against the Jags. That wasn't his fault, and people put it on him. So he would have been better than Matt Ryan, I think. I'll just say that. And I don't know. We don't know about the whole locker room cancer thing, too. I mean, we don't there are many guys that have said he's a great guy. There's other guys who have said we didn't like him.
Yeah.
But I think it was more Frank Reich than anything. Every Colts fan should think that, but I don't know. There's people who didn't watch the games that year and like to make comments on it. So
yeah, it'd be like that. A lot of that happening. Well, all right. I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap it up. Boys, I want to thank you both for taking time out of your busy evenings to talk about your favorite teams. Folks, I want to go ahead and thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button.
Do it.
25 like goal on this episode, and we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 374 at the time of this recording. If you could help us get there, that'd be great. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Go check out the Chaotically Intolerant podcast. Go ahead and check out chaoticallyintolerant.com. They do a lot of fun stuff on YouTube. Alex is in the middle of making a Super Bowl run on Tecmo Bowl with his Colts.
Just beat the Oilers, baby. Big win over Houston.
There you go.
And we got the Raiders this week. Tomorrow night, actually. If anybody, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. AFC Championship. It's Bo Jackson and the Raiders. So
is that
the cheat code?
Central Standard?
Eastern Standard Time. And then hopefully if we win Super Bowl in 2 weeks.
Okay. Right on. Like I said, like and subscribe to his channel as well. And folks, be good people.
Oh, and then our article as well. Mid-season grades. Curtis is contributing to that. And then our other guy, Michael Seff, will be contributing, and I will be too. Mid-season NFL grades. Wednesday again, probably let's say Wednesday morning. I'm not sure when this will come out, but check that out at chaoticallyintolerant.com. Should be on the homepage, but you can just go to the blog as well.
Copy that. Yeah, go ahead and check that out as well. This will be out Wednesday morning as well. So
perfect timing.
Yeah, check them both out.
Yeah.
So y'all, again, be good people.